waiting for Monday to come back again. Saturday and Sunday, I'm just sitting there anticipating for Monday open.
It's really the best use of the weekends. Just give me 1 second. I'm making sure this
stream Monday open. Up.
All right, there we go. Stream is live. So, Jordan, we are going to have a pretty cool conversation today about trading as a business. So I wanted to, thank you for taking some time here to chat with everyone about it. I think the reason I think this is a cool topic is a lot of people have dreams and visions of trading for a living. You know what I mean? They actually would love the idea of being able to trade full time, but I think that there's a big gap between the vision of what that could be like and the reality of what it takes to actually do that. So what I'd love to chat with you about today is what that actually takes, because that's really what you do, right? You trade for a living. You've got yourself in a spot where that's your main source of income. And I'm sure a lot of people here would love to hear what that's actually like.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I wake up in the morning about 9:30 EST. I scalp the first 5 minutes of the day, and then right after that, I'm off on my yacht in the Greek islands. No. In all seriousness, it's a lot of work. It's a profession, right? So I'm always thinking about trading. The implicit hours is really high, and what I mean by that is you don't really turn trading off. You're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about ideas. When you're in the shower, when you're out for dinner, it's always in the back of your mind, and I think that's I think that's very true.
About ability.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, a trading, it's just like any profession, right? You spend a lot of any high paying profession. You spend a lot of hours. You work hard, and the money can be fantastic. But that's really what it is. It's just like any other job. You wake up in the morning before market. You're always studying, and you're always trying to get better. That's really it. There's a lot of talking to other traders, and just trying to find out what the next edge is, right? Or trying to work on your edge. I think that's actually where most of my time is going right now. So you really have two cycles as a trader. Really, you're either working on a strategy, so a strategy that you've already developed, and you're working on it. So you're trying to improve it. You're cutting down costs. You're trying to increase the alpha there. And the second point is, let's say when that dries up, you're looking for the next one. So those are really the two cycles in a trader's life.
It's really cool, Jordan. Like, it sounds, a lot of people will say, like, you got to put the time in, you got to put the work in. But I think something that's so important is what you're spending your time on, right? So, obviously, a lot of people on here are members of PA, have seen your story video, have an idea of like the journey you've been through. But, what really changed for you? Like when you were certain that the time you were putting in was pushing you towards like a tangible outcome?
Yeah, it's when you could really understand what you were valuing. So before, I used to I was talking to Sean about this last night, actually. Maybe we'll go off the path a little bit here. I was talking to Sean about this last night yesterday. I was like, hey Sean, in what industry, what other industry where there's trading outside of, let's say, stocks and Forex and, those type of assets, what other industry are people using, let's say, charts? And obviously, for those of you that don't know, I started out chart reading as well as a technician. That's the short story. And there's no other industry where they're using that. So, for example, if you're thinking, let's say, someone who's scalping at the local stadium, right? He's scalping the tickets, or in real estate. you don't really see people using charts and price action. What they're really doing is valuation, right? They're valuing these things. Can I buy it for this and sell it for this? And so in trading, I think it really clicked for me when I started trying to value stuff, and how much was this worth, and how much could I sell it for, and how much is someone going to be willing to buy it for down the road, and actually putting numbers behind that. I think that's when it really started to flip, and I really could see the improvement start to happening, and it felt like I was like, oh, this is trading for 3, and I can sell it for 5. Well, that makes sense to me, right?
It's almost like that's the foundation of every business, right?
Yeah.
Where can I source something for cheaper than someone's willing to pay me for it where I am? Right? Can I buy something overseas and sell it here for cheaper? Right? That's like the foundation of almost every business, I feel like, right? It's like a value add. Where can you find a discrepancy between, costs and profits, right? Or, what you buy it for and what you can sell it for. And, just building on that, I had a thought last night as well, sort of after we had this conversation. I was like, the tough part is this. I was going to say, the way you can tell if you're doing the right things is your P&L, right? If your P&L is good, you're probably doing the right things. But it's not, but just because you're doing the right things or the wrong things, your P&L might not always actually reflect it in the moment. So what you might use is, are you getting better? But here's the thing, right? What does getting better really mean? Does it mean spending more time? Is it more chart time, more screen time? Or is it maybe something a bit different? And the reason I thought about this was, let's say you traded for 2 years and you couldn't make money on your own book. What do you walk away with at the end? Right? Do you walk in your shoes, for example, you would walk away with a whole bunch of, coding skills, statistical modeling skills, how to think about trading, game theory, like all these really cool ideas that are actually what it came down to for me was they're actually employable skills. In the real world, the skills you've built becoming a trader could get you a job. But if you weren't learning skills like that, you would walk away with what? And I think that's a clear indicator of if you're learning the right things or not, because just like any other career, just like any other job, there are actually real skills being built here. What do you think about that, Jordan?
I think that's 100% correct. I think that's really well said. I think that's perfectly said, man. You need, if the skills you're building are employable, someone's going to be willing to pay you for them, right? And I think that's a good path. That's a good indication that you're on a good path. Being able to forecast, being able to model, being able to, do programming, like those are tangible skills that people want in this world. And being able to apply that to trading, or, from trading, learning that stuff and game theory and how to think about trading. Because really what trading, all it is you're buying something that you think is cheaper than what you can sell it for, or selling something that's expensive, and buy it back for something later on. And that's more than just trading stocks, right? There, you can even consider your time, right? When you go and do something, you're trading your time for whatever outcome you're going to get from spending your time there. And there's so many things in life that you actually can apply trading to. So really understanding trading, I think, is an employable skill, because it comes with a whole bunch of things like game theory, not always, but, understanding data, a little bit of coding, all that kind of stuff, right? That really makes the trader.
Good point. So Jordan, I want to bring it back to trading as a business here. So how long would you say trading has been your business?
Well, I've always wanted it to be my business since I was like maybe 19, 18. But, you didn't really start making any money until I flipped that switch. And that's probably 3 years into trading, 4 years into trading. So it's not, it's definitely not an easy road. But once the ball starts rolling, it picks up pretty quick.
What would you say, what would you say has been the biggest benefit from running trading as your own business? And what would you say has been the biggest curse of it?
Okay, so a couple actually. I'd say that. Hmm, uh, so I'm thinking of all the curses, but I guess we'll start with the benefits first. It's easy to think of the curses.
Uh,
Okay. Um, so as an individual trader, as a retail trader, um, some of the pros are uh, I'm kind of reluctant to say this, but like the freedom to do what you want to do, right? The freedom to do what you want to do, and and that itself can be a curse. A lot of people think, oh, I can do whatever I want to do, right? I can wake up whenever I want, but then at the same time, well, now you got to make sure that you're being disciplined, right? That you're waking up early, that you're keeping yourself groomed. So but having the freedom to do whatever you want. Like I was just down in Antigua last month, right? And probably gonna go back again soon. So being able to just pick up my bags and head over wherever I want. I think that's a plus. Also, another thing is it propels you to keep learning, and I really enjoy that. Something that's personally I enjoy is trying to get better and better.
Mhm.
Some of the cons, hard to build credit. That's one. Especially for me when I was starting out, I leveraged up as much as I could, right? So I max out credit line, max out credit card, because my edge was actually so large. And people might say, "Oh, how can you max out your credit card at at 19% interest? There's no way you're overcoming that hurdle." Well, in trading, when you find a real edge, it's actually quite easy to overcome that hurdle. Trying to build credit and is probably pretty tough as an entrepreneur. For example, on my taxes, I have capital gains, right? Like, it's not income, and so it's definitely hard to build credit that way. And that's probably one of the biggest curses I would say with trading. That being said, you can overcome it. It's for me personally, starting out with basically nothing, growing that up, those were some hurdles that I personally had.
So we got a couple questions here, and then we'll get back into our discussion.
Mhm.
Christian is asking, Jordan, how long would you say it took to be consistently profitable and decide to make the switch to trading full time for a living?
Yeah. So I hate the I'm very against the word consistently profitable because we were just talking about this last night. In trading, there's so much variance, right? That's another con to trading. You don't know when you're going to stop making money. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't know when that edge is going to dry out. You don't know when you're going to have a losing month, right? You don't know if you could be down $50,000 next month, right? So that's one con to trading. But at the same time, a good trader learns to enjoy that ride. So when did I know I was consistently profitable? It's when I could find something for $3 and I knew someone was willing to buy it for $5. And you guys might say like, well, that's impossible, Jordan. Well, it's actually not impossible, right? It's actually not impossible. If you saw Apple volatility trading at 10 and you saw Microsoft volatility trading at 40 or the S&P volatility trading at 40, you're going to get paid. Right. So it's not when did you know you could be consistently profitable? It's just know when you start finding it. When you find a real edge, it's going to make money. So I think that's the answer, right? When you know that there's a real edge here, and sometimes that can even be a little bit of a gray area.
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, there's not it's not gray. It's literally black or white. Armando's asking, was there a light bulb moment in your journey?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely lots of light bulb moments on the way.
Share a couple of them?
Yeah, even it's funny. I even had one yesterday, but along the way in your journey, you're always going to have like those. That's what I was missing. You know, just super quick, maybe a little more technical example. Then I'll go some easier examples. Um, I wanted to short a straddle, and but it was too much. It was too margin intensive. So I said, okay, well, let me buy a butterfly here. But then my edge shrunk. My edge shrunk quite a bit. And for some reason, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but by the end of the day, I realized that I needed to scale my butterflies up to meet that same dollar edge. So that was like a little light bulb moment that I had yesterday that really I was a little bit stressful. But some other things along the way is trying to value something, right? I think honestly that's the biggest, that is the probably the biggest problem a lot of retail traders have, is that they don't try to value something. They say, oh look, this stock had this indicator happen, or this stock blew through the roof, or this stock had good earnings, or they're just describing something. They're saying this Lamborghini is yellow with black interior and black rims. But what we need to do as a trader, in my opinion, is, at least that's helped me, was say, what is this thing worth? Right? What is this thing worth? And as I get better at trying to value these products and these assets, you're going to make more money. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I think retail traders are forgetting, is that they forget to value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really, really important. Like for that Lamborghini example, it would maybe be like, this Lamborghini's going for $200,000, but it's also, it's got 30,000 kilometers on it. But a similar Lamborghini, same year, with 30,000 kilometers on it, is going for $250,000. So maybe this Lamborghini's cheap, right? Maybe I should buy it and try and sell it in that market with the other one. Something like that, right? Christian's got a question here. He's saying, real talk, how many accounts have you blown, if any? So maybe share a bit about like your journey here and,
Yeah. How many? So I never, like when we say blow an account, I mean, like I've lost money. I've never really blown an account. I had a Thinkorswim account way back in the day. Maybe I want to say 5 years ago now, maybe longer. 5 years ago, I had a Thinkorswim account, and I was using like the Tasty Trade method. So like selling high IV rank and selling iron condors. And that account went from, I don't know, 10K to 6K. And then I pulled. But that was a lot of that actually was from commissions. Thinkorswim in Canada was like very, very expensive. I also had a serious drawdown once where I went from like 40,000 to 18,000 before really running it up. So, and those are really my two only drawdowns. Going from 40,000 to 18,000, that was probably a low moment where, I was saying to myself, like, shit, I don't know if I can do this. But I had one really good earnings season after that. And then I started to realize some stuff, and the ball started started rolling.
So what would you say was like because a lot of people will blow accounts, start again, and say they learned from it, right? And I think there's some merit to that. But what would you say you learned, if anything, from blowing those accounts? Like what changed?
I don't think I learned a lot, to be honest. You learn more from actually making money, in my opinion. You learn more from trying to, the most I've ever learned is from taking a strategy. So in trading, guys, a lot of the time you'll see something that looks like it has a lot of edge. And when you go to trade it, you realize it's so hard to monetize, right? Maybe the market makers are too wide and they won't budge. Maybe the transaction costs are too high. Maybe the liquidity isn't there. Maybe the hedging required is too much because the variance is too high. Whatever it is. The most I've ever learned is actually developing a strategy. So taking something from, it could have edge, to pulling out every single ounce of juice out of that strategy is probably where I've learned the most in trading. It really gives you a sense of the whole picture, the microstructure. It gives you a sense of, how to calculate your edge, how to include all your costs when you're trying to build out this strategy. That's really, in my opinion, where you learn the most. I think even Hutch had an example, one of our members, Hutch, trades earnings. And I think if you asked him that same question, he would say the same thing. Taking a strategy that, has a little bit of edge and then sucking every drop of juice out of it is where you're going to learn the most.
So why does that set you up for future strategies? Right? Why is that such a valuable learning experience?
Yeah. Aaron Brown said once, he said, trading can be taught, but you have to be able to see it first. You have to be able to see a working strategy first, before you can really make some money. And I think that's actually really true, Sean. Just being able to see the strategy, see how it's run, and see how you need to actually take care of all these bases, cover all your bases, to make money, I think it really is really good.
Very cool.
Did that answer your question?
I think so. It's
okay,
a little early.
Okay,
I can't even remember the question.
Okay, good.
Do we have any more questions coming in from the group here? Guys, make sure to drop your questions in the chat. It would be, Jordan would love to answer them. Kyle's asking, it's always the $3 bill for $5. Why not the $2 bill?
Yeah, it is always the $3 bill for $5. I don't know, Margin. It's a good question, dude. It's a good question.
So, a lot of times people will look out into the market and they'll see something that they think looks funky or looks interesting. What would be your advice to someone who buys into what you're saying here about inefficiencies, value, all of these things, but maybe doesn't know where to start, right? They look out, they see things that they think are maybe value plays or are worth exploring. What would be your advice to someone in that situation?
I would say two things. One thing is see how other people value things. This doesn't have to be just in trading, guys. This could be anywhere. Okay, see how people are valuing things. Their methodology, right? The methodology in trading can be applied to any asset, right? If I'm a good equities trader, I can take a lot of those skill sets into real estate, right? So find out who the good traders are first, and see how they're valuing stuff. Could be in whatever asset, and then probably of course there's going to be nuances to each asset you're trading, but I think the core ideas of risk and valuation are going to be applied to people who are successful in their individual fields. So that's the first thing I would say. And then the other thing I would say is go look at how other assets are being priced that are efficient. So for example, let's say you're trading vol. Go look at how the S&P is priced, how S&P IV 30-day or IV 90-day, look how that's priced, right? That's pretty efficient. So, the guys at Citadel, the smartest traders in the room, are trying to price these assets. So, if we can understand how they're pricing it here and take those ideas and apply them to, or now you can see, okay, well, this asset isn't trading like that. So maybe maybe there's a little inefficiency over here, or a little bit of a higher risk premium over here. So those are my two things. Listen to people who are pretty good at trading and take their methodologies and learn their methodologies. And the other thing would be to see how assets are actually valued and take ideas from there.
Now, not asking you to give away some, free alpha here, but can you give an example of a situation recently where you've valued an asset, traded it, made money on it, and sort of walk us through discovering the idea or opportunity, how you valued it, what you did, maybe what the outcome was. It can be a winner or a loser, whatever.
Yeah, we should actually have Margin come on this live here. I'm probably going to steal his example again real quick. So there's a company called Discovery, and we try to value the volatility for it. And the way we did it, or the way one of our members, Margin, Kyle is what we call him.
He's in the chat here, Kyle Michelle. You can bug him.
You can bug him. He likes being bugged. Actually, he's got lots of free time, so send him a message. So the way you do it is you valued it in terms of absolute terms, right? Well, what is this asset trading at relative to what it usually trades at, or relative to some other internal metric? And then you value it across other assets. Well, if Discovery is trading at 80 vol, and Fox A is trading at 50 vol, and the communication sector is trading at 30 vol, and Netflix is trading at 40 vol, well, what should Discovery be trading at? And what we saw was it was just through the roof, right? It was too expensive. So we sold some volatility, and it eventually worked out phenomenal. Volatility went, and we try to price it. So we said, okay, well, given these assets, volatility should be worth 65 or 63. And, lo and behold, we were right. Volatility went from 85 to 63, and we were all able to make some good money.
Very cool. We got another question here from Christian. Christian, I love that you keep dropping good questions in the chat. Thanks a lot, man. He said, I think a problem people have when learning is understanding their mistake. Did you keep a trade journal or anything of that nature?
I didn't. So we have a trade. Okay, so I have a journal, but it's not a trade journal. It's just to keep all my expenses, right? All the what I'm getting filled at, commissions, all that stuff. I'm keeping a journal of all the transaction costs and all my transactions. But in terms of like writing down my emotions, I did way back in the day. So when I was like doing technical analysis and stuff, I would keep a trade journal. Actually, is this it right here? No, I have it here. I think I have it. Oh, here, I got it right here. Okay, so there's his journal right there. So this, so I would keep a trade journal. This is like from like 5-6 years ago though. So this is full, right? This whole book is full here. So I did keep a trade journal. That being said, I think it was useless. It didn't generate me any alpha. Only started making money when basically I wasn't doing that journal.
Yeah. Steven's saying read an entry from it.
You want me to read an entry, eh? I don't know, Steve. Is that Steve B?
Yeah.
All right, let me find something good.
Just flip to a random page.
Okay, here. Random flip. I must watch gold, oil, USD mining stock SPY tick and trend. RSI to show converged divergence in triangle plus OBV, I think that's on balance volume, is a bonus. When parabola shows to the left of center V, also look at 2-minute chalk and money flow. Okay, I don't know. That's all mumbo jumbo if you ask me.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, here's a good one. Study previous stock behavior when gapped occurred. When I scan for a stock in morning, peek at prior daily data before entering. After first 5 min, if it makes new high, that is my entry. So stuff like that, I write down my thoughts all the time. Like it's a full journal right there. But useful? I don't think so at all.
To an NFT.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Any more questions, guys? Jordan giving away all his secrets, predicting alpha is just a front.
Is that Margin? I think Margin can relate to those. He can attest to those signals there. Those are probably top tier technical analysis signals.
Right. Yeah, that actually was Margin. So let's see here, Jordan. How we're getting close to the end here. It's 11. How should we end this off? What should we chat about? Let's cover one more thing.
Yeah, what's that?
Or go on.
I was going to say, just talking a little bit more about on the business side. When you create a business, right? Let's say you're selling a product that you can buy for $20 or make for $20 and then sell it for $80, and that's across almost every business. Every business model is trying to find something that's cheap and then sell it for more money. But in order to do that, they need to value it. They need to say, how much can I make this for? And a lot of the times, they're trying to cut those costs down as much as possible, right? Because if they cut down the cost, that adds to the revenue, that adds to the bottom line. And then the other thing they're trying to do is They're looking for markets that maybe want to buy this product, or they're trying to market it better so people want to buy the product. But at every single stage throughout a business, you're constantly crunching the numbers. You're constantly trying to cut down costs. You're constantly trying to make a better product. And there's no difference to that than in trading, in my opinion.
Awesome. So everyone, we're going to wrap up the stream there. Weird Gamer, you said, you're like, I've got $250 to drop. What option can I afford / should try? I would honestly spend the money and invest it into maybe like the Sheldon Nadenberg book, something like that. Just, honestly, by the nature of the question, I think it would be the better move.
I would say Delta 2 Tesla call option expiring in 3 months. Throw it on the line.
You either go big or go home.
Yeah, either go big or go home.
Dude, why 3 months? Why not 0 DTE?
Zero, yeah, you know what? Good call. 0 DTE, out Delta 5 call option. Slap it on the table.
Either the 250 vanishes or you make 100K.
It's a no-brainer if you ask me.
I don't know what was worse, my answer or yours. It's funny. Yeah. Jordan's or Jack is saying, take the money and join PA. LOL. I don't know. Maybe.
Probably not bad. Not a bad decision.
Jordan Christian saying, before you get off, just wanted to say thank you so much for the value. So
yeah, Christian, no problem. And it seems like you're extremely curious, man. That's one of the most important things is if you're not curious, if you don't actually like the game, a lot of people just want to play this game for the freedom. But you actually seem curious, and that's half the battle, dude.
Okay. So we are going to wrap up the stream there, everyone. If you enjoyed it, drop a little like on the video, and we will be back at it on Monday. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good day.
See you guys.